My name is Kristen D. Schaefer. I'm a new assistant professor in the Department of Education. One highlight from my summer. I think it was going down to see my folks in Maryland and going to the bay with them, the Chesapeake Bay, and collecting shark's teeth. An interesting fact about myself is that I am an identical twin. And my sister Nora lives in Brooklyn, New York, and she's also a teacher, and she's doing her PhD in education right now as well too, and also an artist by training. So as much as we wanted to be different from each other, we're pretty much neck and neck in terms of having the same dreams and aspirations, and it's pretty cool. I've been to school kind of all over the place. I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, and went to public school, starting with the Woodland Wizards, which will always be my favorite mascot. I then did my undergraduate degree at Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington, which was beautiful and actually reminds me a bit of Calgary. And then I went over to England, where I studied at the Slade School of Fine Art, doing master's in fine art, specifically performance art, where I pretended to be Professor Schaefer. And it wasn't until somebody told me that, hey, you should look into becoming a teacher, that I became a high school teacher in Toronto. I went to University of Toronto to the Ontario Institutes for Studies in Education, and I now find myself here in Calgary. I like this question partly because it was overly ambitious. I'd actually only have one app on my phone, and I toss away the phone except for this one app, which really makes my phone special, and that's my Libby app, which, if you don't know about Libby, it's free, and it allows you to use any library from wherever you are. So it's like having the public library in your pocket. And I've currently got the Toronto Public Library and the New York Public Library in my pocket, and I'm so excited to have the Calgary Public Library because I spend all my free time listening to audiobooks, and it makes me happy and chilled out, and I could not recommend an app more in line with like community values of sharing our culture and knowledge.
My name is Sarah Hamilton. I am in the Department of Education as an assistant professor. So one thing on a outside of work and scholarly level, I've restarted playing soccer again this summer after taking about 5 years off. I've joined a women's rec league, and I'm having a ton of fun with that so far. So that's one highlight. My other highlight is that I finally have some time to dig into the data analysis of my doctoral dissertation. So I'm really enjoying re-engaging with that work after taking a couple of months off of that. So I think I for my own wellness, I try to balance a little bit of the physical with a little bit of sort of that mental piece. I come from a family of gardeners, so along my mom's in my mom's side, and so I have vegetable and flower gardens at my house, and I love just getting my hands in the dirt and spending time in my gardens. I also, though, really just love getting out for some walks and some hikes. We've got a new puppy this summer, so lots of time on the trails, and just getting out and enjoying that, trying to teach my toddler how to ride a bike as well, which is a whole different level of patience. So I have 2 books that I'm going to share that I've been reading this summer. One just more of a professional interest, which is this one, and I'm going to try to read the title properly backwards. How I Wish I'd Taught Maths by Craig Barton. And he talks about all the things that he wished he'd done when he first started teaching mathematics. And then secondly, I'm also digging into Rick Mercer's new book, Talking to Canadians, his memoir. And, you know, like I'm really enjoying, there's a lot of humor in it, but I have, my spouse is from Newfoundland, so I'm seeing a lot of the similar things that you would have seen in many of the outdoor communities in that book too. Before I was fortunate enough to join the faculty at MRU, I was actually a school embedded researcher in a K-12 independent school. This is a little bit of a unique position. Embedded researchers are found more commonly in the United Kingdom as part of their educational system there, but we don't see it very much in North America and specifically in Canada. There can be researchers associated with school boards, but we were located within one K-12 school that had about 650 students, and so we did a number of different pieces with that. So, some was internal research. We did sort of impact assessment and program evaluation on some of the things we were doing in the school. We had collaborations with external researchers as well, some from MRU I was very fortunate to work with before as well. And just taking a look at how we could improve the education and the achievement of our students, our staff, and the overall system that we had there.